guys, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to another video. Today we are making some delicious sugar cookies. All the ingredients will be listed down below in the description box. So now let's get started. We will start by adding 1 cup of unsalted butter. Make sure you scrape using a spatula or a knife all the excess butter that is still on the wrap. Now we add in our sugar. Now we take our bowl and place it onto our stand mixer. I was having a little bit of difficulties getting my bowl in, but now we are good to go and ready. So now I place in my whisk and I turn on my mixer to start mixing. We will cream together the butter and the sugar until fluffy. And then, once it is fluffy, we will add the rest of our ingredients. Due to the motion of my whisk, my camera gets a little motion sick, so don't mind that, but at the end it will be focused again and you will be able to see the fluffiness in the butter and the sugar. This is how it should look, nice and fluffy. Now we add in our egg. Once our egg is in, we start to whisk it together until it's semi-incorporated to add one of our other ingredients, which will be our last wet ingredient that will be added in. After our last wet ingredient, we will be adding our dry ingredients. Now I add in my vanilla extract for the nice flavor in our cookie. We whisk it all together until it's well incorporated. So there is still some of our butter that was not incorporated, so we scrape it and mix it again so it gets incorporated with the egg and the vanilla extract. Now I add in our salt and mix it together. Now we add in our baking powder. And mix it well. Now we start adding in our flour. Mix 1 cup at a time so the flour is well incorporated and you will not make a mess of flour all over your kitchen or counter or dining area. As you can see, our dough is starting to form. but it's still sticky, so we continue to add in our flour. We add in our last cup of flour, and this is our last step. I start to scrape around the bowl so it starts to get into a clump to form our ball of dough. I scrape the excess off to the whisk from my spatula so it gets incorporated too. Every little bit of dough counts for a delicious cookie. Once it starts sticking to the whisk, we know our dough is ready to go. So I will start to shake off the dough from my whisk. With a spatula, I go in and take off all the dough from my whisk and leave it onto my bowl. Shake off the little pieces because they tend to get sticky and get stuck to the whisk, and if you bang it a little bit onto your bowl, they will come off very easily. Clean your whisk very well by scraping everything off. If you can't do it with a spatula and you seem it's too hard, in that case you may use your hands, but make sure they are very clean and you've washed them. Now we grab our bowl and place all our dough onto some plastic wrap to be able to put our dough into the freezer, because if you want to have cutouts, like you want to have a shape for these type of cookies, then in that case it's better to have them cold when you roll it out. With my very clean hands, I've washed them. I roll it into a bowl and then I put the plastic on top. Now I do the other side of the plastic, and then I just, with my hands on top of the plastic, I just form it into a really good ball so it can hold its shape. Now it's ready to go. This is how it should look, and you could pat it and it should be nice and tight. So this is how it should look once it is out of the freezer, refrigerator, or wherever you placed it. After 30 minutes or an hour, or how long you left it, until it is a little bit hard, but not too hard to the point where you're not going to be able to mold it. So now with my knife, I cut it into 4 pieces so that it is easier to roll them out. Now I grab a roller and I start to roll my dough out until it is flat. Keep in mind that you do have to wash your hands in order to be able to touch the dough with your hands. Once it is nicely rolled out, you are going to grab your cookie cutter. In my case, I drew something out. I drew it out, so I drew it on parchment paper, and that's my shape that I did on parchment paper. And with a small knife, I like to use my fondant knife. With this small knife, I go in and I cut around the parchment paper to be able to be the shape that I want, that I desire. So these are my shapes. I place them on a parchment paper and I place them in my oven. 350 degrees Fahrenheit. They are done. This is how they look when I take them out. As you can see, they're nice and cooked from the bottom, not burnt, just a good amount of cooked. Now I place them on these mats so that I can decorate them with royal icing. And these are some other shapes I did with the remainder. And this is how they turned out. Beautiful. The design of these cookies were due to the pandemic and for a promotion one of my little cousins had. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share.